Hey, get ready to take a fun, nostalgic look back at the 1970s TV series Shazam with the high-flying superhero Captain Marvel. Frady Cat here. We are about to relive the Saturday mornings of the 70s with Shazam, the superhero show that ran from 74 to 76 with new episodes and afterward and reruns.
You dig?
Along the way, we'll check out some awesome fun facts, special effects, the old school way, and even a few fun goofs that made it to the final cut. The 70s were a revival for the superhero known as Captain Marvel, who was as popular as Superman back in the 40s, but got sued by DC Comics and eventually stopped publishing until DC got the rights and brought the character back in the 70s under the book title Shazam. At this point, Marvel Comics had their own Captain Marvel, and I guess DC didn't want to risk going to court at this point. On the TV series, Billy Batson travels the country in an RV with his mentor, who is also named Mentor. Mentor was played by the actor Les Tremayne, who already had a long acting career, showing up on classic TV shows like Mr. Ed and in the movie War of the Worlds.
I saw that movie, Earthling. Why did he want to go to war with the Martians? Why did he not simply surrender to their will, as obviously they were the superior species?
I'm not sure about that. Say, before I forget it, I want to give you your birthday cake.
Oh, thank you, Earthling. But wait, it is not my birthday.
Billy was played by Michael Gray, who before this series did a guest shot on The Brady Bunch. Captain Marvel was played by two different actors. First was Jackson Bostwick, followed by John Davey, who starred in the last 11 episodes.
Uh-oh, the elders are going. Oh, elders, fleet and strong and wise.
Appear before my seeking eyes were the words that Billy Batson used to appear before the elders. In the show, Captain Marvel, just like the comic book version, gets his powers from classic heroes from the ancient world, such as the wisdom of Solomon, strength of Hercules, and speed of Mercury.
There is only one thing finer than a friend you can trust, and that's a friend who will trust you.
Also in the show, and like the comics, Billy gets messages and words of wisdom from these ancient elders pertaining to each episode's storyline.
The eternal face of the desert mocks man's haste.
I don't really know what you mean exactly. I'm not really a fan of the desert. It's a little too hot for my taste, you know what I'm saying?
The cactus grows slowly, but once grown, it stands tall for many years.
Yeah. Say guys, I was wondering, could you put the old whammy on me, give me some of those powers, like Captain Marvel?
Shortly you will meet one who is confused.
That would be me.
Though a man escape every danger, he can never wholly escape those who do not want him to exist.
No journey is finished until the last step is taken.
Okay, so is that a no on getting the superpowers?
Consider carefully what we have said.
I'm not sure if it was ever revealed specifically on the series, but the area to which Billy communicates with the elders has to be the Rock of Eternity, which in the comics is sort of a nexus of power in another realm. The confusing part is that the wizard Shazam never actually showed up on the TV series. The wizard in the comics, of course, was the one responsible for giving Billy his powers. Back in the 1940s, Wiz Comics number 2 gave the wizard's age at more than 3,000 years old.
I am Shazam. Even
though the wizard isn't seen on the TV series, he was shown on the older Captain Marvel movie serial from 1941. Some fans speculate that Les Tremayne's character, Mentor, was really the wizard all along. Billy couldn't call him by his name, of course, or he would instantly transform into Captain Marvel.
Billy's right, Holly.
In the 4th episode of the first season, The Lure of the Lost, Mentor is seen sitting in a tree as if by magic.
How did he get here?
Most older guys don't usually like to climb trees, so perhaps he did get up there magically. Billy even says that Mentor has a habit of popping up when you least expect him.
Elders never told me I'd have to do a thing like this.
Mentor also appeared to be working for the elders as shown in the episode Doom Buggy.
Okay.
Where Mentor complains, "The elders never told me I'd have to do this." Mentor even boasted once that he taught Cupid how to shoot an arrow in the episode The Delinquent. In the comics at that time, in Shazam number 26, the Mentor role seems to have been given to Billy's Uncle Dudley, who was even given an RV to drive. They even gave Uncle Dudley a mustache, just like Mentor, and brought in the attorney phone used to contact the elders. They basically brought the comics a little closer to the world of the TV series, without copying it exactly. The setup for the series was that Billy and Mentor were traveling the country for Billy Batson's radio show, who had sent him on a roving assignment to do stories about American youth. Every episode ended with a moral segment where Captain Marvel or Billy Batson would explain that episode's life lesson.
You can learn an important lesson from Gary and Holly's experience today. Honesty is the best policy. And not let others con you into doing something dumb.
What is important is to do the very best you can.
That making one mistake isn't the end of the world.
Now let's look at some interesting goofs that will also give us some insight as to how they made the scenes way back in the day in the 70s on a lower budget Saturday morning series like this one. On the episode, The Boy Who Said No. This mean-looking dude forces a helicopter pilot to fly his escape. But being Saturday morning in the 70s, he does so with zero weapons and just potentially threatening words like, let's go, and I'm not going to hurt you, but I got to get out of here fast. Well, if you have to fly a crook around, you might as well look cool doing it. I'm pretty sure from the looks of things that Jackson Bostwick had to do his own stunts here. The neat little goof comes in where we see stunt pilots instead of the actors in the helicopter. In the episode The Joyriders, a group of teens steal a car and it's up to Captain Marvel to save the day.
Holy moly!
Watching Shazam today is like hitching a ride on a time machine to the 70s. Check out all these old cars. In this episode, in order to give the illusion that these teens, that were probably too young to drive, legally anyway, were in fact riding down the road. They took shots of a guy driving a car, then took shots of the kids in the car that wasn't really moving at all. They simply shook the car, put up a blanket so you couldn't see the background not moving, and then there's one brief moment where you can see the stuff in the background not moving out to the side. When the kids need to get out, the driver dunks down, and the kid who was supposed to be driving runs out from the side. It happens so fast you probably wouldn't notice on a small TV screen, way back before VCRs were even a thing. On the episode Doom Buggy, Billy's guitar changes in the middle of the scene.
Well, it's great.
On the episode The Delinquent, when Captain Marvel had to save a young Jackie Earl Haley from drowning, in order to not put the actor in danger, they appeared to have used a dummy in the action scene instead. Haley was on the Bad News Bears and went on to star in other DC Comics properties such as the Watchmen movie and the TV series Human Target.
Holy moly!
On the episode The Odd Couple, which teamed up Captain Marvel with ISIS, by the way, Cap must save a plane. It's obvious they used a dummy on top of the plane, but I do have to give them credit for taking the time to actually take real aerial shots for this scene, considering the show was on a Saturday morning budget. For the second season, Shazam was paired up with Filmation's original creation, ISIS, for the Shazam ISIS Hour. Captain Marvel and ISIS even teamed up a few times on each other's episodes. ISIS was played by JoAnna Cameron. She got her own DC Comics based off the TV series and even teamed up with Captain Marvel for one awesome issue of Shazam. Shazam had some famous guest stars. Danny Bonaducci from the Partridge Family was on the episode Speak No Evil. Danny did voice work on other Saturday morning shows before this appearance, first as a member of the Partridge Family on 8 episodes of Goober and the Ghost Chasers, and after that, Partridge Family 2200 AD. Dabbs Greer, who played the pastor from Little House on the Prairie, guest starred on the episode Fool's Gold. Greer coincidentally appeared on 3 episodes of The Adventures of Superman, including the very first episode where Superman saved him from falling to his doom. On the episode The Delinquent, Hilly Hicks appeared. He went on to do the voice of Brock on the 70s Hanna-Barbera Godzilla cartoon, and he was also Robbie Robertson on one episode of The Amazing Spider-Man in the 70s. Frank Coughlin Jr., who was the original Billy Batson on the movie serial, appeared on the episode The Braggart.
We sometimes use it as a holding area for new animals. Hop in, I'll drive you over.
Did you know that the Bobby Brady actor Mike Lookinland played on an episode of ISIS? Butch Patrick, who played Eddie on The Munsters and Mark on Lidsville, appeared on the episode The Athlete.
You don't even go to this school, so why don't you just bug off?
Well, thanks so much for liking, subscribing, commenting, and most importantly for watching the Frady Cat Cartoons channel. This channel is growing, which I do greatly appreciate. Check out the main page for more videos on Saturday mornings past, parodies, and original cartoons and characters that I hope will one day be looked back as fondly as I do many of the cartoons that I grew up with. Thanks again, and y'all have a great day.